Donald Trump is set to be sworn in as the 47th US president in just a few hours from now. He's arrived at the Church of St. John's in Washington, D.C. for a service ahead of his inauguration. At a rally on Sunday night, President-elect Trump made statements about what he intends to do as soon as he takes office, including repealing all of President Joe Biden's executive orders. He also took credit for the ceasefire in Gaza.
Perhaps most beautiful of all, this week we achieved an epic ceasefire agreement as a first step toward lasting peace in the Middle East. And this agreement could only have happened as a result of our historic victory in November. That was some victory. Was that great? I don't even know which was greater, 2016 or this one. I think this one.
Mustafa Barghouti, Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative. It's been widely reported, hasn't it, Mustafa, that Trump and his administration the envoy played a big role in getting this ceasefire deal over the line. He's shortly going to become president, just in a matter of hours. How much of a priority do you think the ceasefire deal is now going to be?
I think the ceasefire is a priority because President Trump wants to have calm in the Middle East, as he says, because he wants to concentrate on internal issues in the United States. That's the same reason why he's pushing for a deal in Ukraine and to stop the war there. But tactically, he has been useful in terms of being the only president that could pressure Netanyahu and force him to accept a ceasefire. But strategically, he has a very dangerous administration for Palestinians.
Yep.
Because they are talking about dangerous things like annexation of the West Bank. When you have an American ambassador like Huckabee saying that Palestinians don't exist and that we are an invention, such statements coming from major people in the American administration are very dangerous. One statement in particular by President Trump that he discovered that Israel is too small and need to be expanded. What does that mean? At the expense of Palestinian land, at the expense of violating international law? So there are lots of possibilities. What is worrying is that the whole group of his new administration on the issue of Palestine are totally biased to Israel and to Israeli views, and that is dangerous when you have a fascist government in Israel.
And one wonders at what cost to the Palestinians this ceasefire was pushed over the line. How Trump might have strong-armed Netanyahu into accepting the deal before he took power.
Well, he didn't need to give anything in return. I mean, because already the United States is providing Netanyahu with so many things. Without the United States, Netanyahu cannot run this war for more than a week.
But what could Trump do that Biden couldn't?
In my opinion, the most important thing is that Netanyahu realized that he will not be able to manipulate Trump as he did with Biden. When he manipulated Biden, he knew that he had a leverage, which is Trump coming in. Now with Trump, there is no other leverage. So that's a major issue. But that doesn't deny the fact that if they talk about annexing parts of the occupied territories, that means killing the whole idea of two-state solution. That means killing the whole potential and possibility of a Palestinian state. That's the risk and danger here, that in the West Bank, we could see advancement of Israeli illegal settlements, which are advancing already to the level that the whole idea of a two-state solution that everybody talks about just disappears. And that leaves us, of course, with one option: to struggle for one democratic state. And they would tell us Israel would not accept one democratic state and would not accept two-state solution. So what do they accept? Ethnic cleansing? Here comes another dangerous statement that NBC spoke about, which is the transfer of Palestinians from Gaza to Indonesia. I mean, what kind of crazy idea is that? The whole steadfastness of the Palestinian people in Gaza was about not accepting to be ethnically cleansed.
So in Trump's previous term, that's all we've really got to go on at this stage. I mean, he did have a peace plan and a two-state solution. He was indeed pressuring Arab states to normalize relations with Israel. He got quite far with that, obviously stopped at Saudi Arabia. But do you think he's going to pick up where he left off there?
Well, that deal was not a good one. I wrote a whole book about it. The deal of the century was about cutting off at least 30% of the land of the West Bank and giving it to Israel. It was about allowing Israel to annex all the Israeli illegal settlements. And it was about transforming the whole idea of a Palestinian state into clusters of ghettos and pantostans without any sovereignty. That kind of a state would not have control over its borders, natural resources, its water, its security, its airspace, and its electromagnetic field. What kind of state is that? So, in my opinion, he was adjusting the whole idea of statehood to Israeli needs of annexing the Israeli illegal settlements. Now we have more settlements, with 52 new settlements established by Smotrich and Netanyahu. I mean, any country that speaks about two-state solution will be just doing hypocrisy unless they say end occupation, remove settlements, and recognize a Palestinian state.
Mustafa Barghouti, we're going to have to cut you off there, but we will come back to you, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.